Good morning. I'm pretty sure that by making a couple of these videos, I'm putting off my long run. This is my last day in Brooklyn. I've been in Manhattan and Brooklyn for a couple of weeks, which has been amazing. I've basically been geeking out about buildings like for 2 weeks, having a lovely time seeing my family. And yesterday I went on a tour of loads of places in Brooklyn. I saw the McMansions, I saw the different kind of locations in Brooklyn. I spent about 5 hours touring around. It was fabulous, with a friend of my sister who lives here, one of her neighbours, who's just a gorgeous guy, like a lovely guy. And he was so sweet. He grew up in Brooklyn, so we ended up having pizza, where he used to go after school and have like 2 slices of pizza and a soda. So I've had a great time. Today, Arthur, while I was being away, Arthur's actually asked me, like, could you do some videos on the subjects that we get asked about a lot? We get emailed loads of questions, we get Facebook loads of questions, and we like it. You know, it's really helpful to us to know what you want to know. So, how do you start? Well, that's quite easy, she says. Having the momentum already, having started, you need a phone, you need an internet connection, and you need a computer. And quite frankly, do it. That's it. So it's not that complicated. I started with a computer, a phone, a pot of Nutella, because I borrowed 600,000 in my first, in less than 6 months. I built a 1.8 million portfolio, which now is like kind of diddy, but at the time was quite aspirational for me. I couldn't conceive of having a portfolio bigger than £1 million, and then I was able to jump out my job. And what made the difference? Making all those phone calls, just meeting people at property events, meeting up with them afterwards, learning about property from them. I was Facebooking one of my friends yesterday that I met years ago, and when I started, he was like massive, really big, and I was kind of quite tiny. I had no property, and he was just telling me how many properties he's now got unencumbered and what the next target is. So we're still peers now, and I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, this is what I'm doing, and we share our business strategy, which is wonderful. Really good fun. And we actually meet quite regularly for curry and bring out our spreadsheets and talk to each other that way. So it's really about meeting people, picking up the phone and following up with that initial meeting to say, hey, what are you doing in property? And remember, 2 ears, one mouth. So it's about 80% really listening to them, because you're going to learn a lot, and 20% saying, well, this is what I intend to do. Some of that is going to help you raise funds, brilliant, because you need time, money, skills. But I think the majority of it for me early on was just learning. I used to go to Bristol Pin, it was my local property network meeting. And I just met so many really great people in the room, some of whom are massively experienced, some of whom were just starting out, and we were kind of going, okay, what mistake have you done? What mistake have I done? So, telephone. I suppose business cards from other people. I want you to get 10 business cards for every property event you go to, and I want you to follow up. It's not like you're trying to get something from them, like, can I borrow money from you? Although there will be some people who will decide to lend you money if you offer a good interest rate and you look like you're a good business case. It's more that going to these property events, there are so many people with so much amazing knowledge that's going to be amazing for you to learn. So you've got an internet connection and you've got a computer. But then I think the most important is permission. And I think that's why this is a question that I get asked regularly. Because if you think about it, if you've been in a job, so you went to school, you went to uni, or you didn't go to uni, and then you got a job, and then you at whatever age you are, was like, stuff this, do I ever really want to have another job? Do I want another boss? My boss is driving me nuts. But you've always been in some level of organisation, so you didn't need to ask permission to change your life. You kind of slotted in, happily or unhappily, and just got going. But now you need to give yourself permission. And it's moving from an employed position to a self-employed position, to a business owner position, to an investor position. It's the quadrant, rich dad, poor dad. But within that, I think there's some level of self-permission is needed before you pick up the phone and say, I am doing, this is what I'm doing. And I think that's all about confidence. So the sooner you get started and say, yep, I'm doing property. Yep, I viewed my first 30 properties ever in my life. Everybody else is going to go, cool, what did you learn? And you're going to go, I feel like I'm a fake. I feel like this isn't, but actually they're going to take you at your delivery value of, I'm starting, this is where I'm going. So give yourself permission to start, get going, and just dive in and make sure you're surrounded by peers. Now, a bit of a waffly one, I suppose, but that just gives you the benefit of my learning from when I started, which is permission, telephone, internet, business cards, 10 business cards, 10 people that you meet at every meet. Go to a meet at least once a week and give yourself confidence and permission and have an amazing peer network, because that's going to take you further than anything. And personally, I mean, I've had the same mentor for 6 years. He keeps me right. He tells me when I'm wrong. And I could not have done this without him. And I mean, I mentor people as well. And if you think about any strong athlete, all of them have coaches. In my book, it would be crazy to think you're going to do something so utterly life-changing as property and so potentially risky as property without somebody who's been ahead of you. So I would personally suggest that would be a sensible thing to do as well. I hope that's useful. Speak soon. Bye.